In the summer of 1763, the Mozart family was getting ready for the road, leaving their Salzburg home for a grand European tour across 17 cities. Their first stop was Munich, where young Wolfgang gave 4 concerts that lasted past midnight with encore after encore. But he was still, after all, only 7 years old. Barely a month into the tour, his father Leopold wrote home describing how Wolfgang would wake up several times each night, crying, desperately homesick for Salzburg. 20 years later, that same Wolfgang felt very differently. "I hate Salzburg," he wrote. "There isn't a penny's worth of stimulation. It's no place for my talent." At 25, after an explosive confrontation with the Prince Archbishop, Mozart was fired and left Salzburg for good, never to return. Centuries later, it's impossible to separate Salzburg from Mozart's legacy. The city he couldn't wait to escape now celebrates him as her greatest son. Which is how I found myself back there in August, watching the city come alive again during the Salzburg Festival. Seeing 5 incredible concerts in Mozart's hometown. Salzburg wasn't the only place I returned to. I reunited with family in Shanghai and Luxembourg for the 2nd year running, returned to Paris, and then Tokyo, exactly a decade after my first visit. Reconnected with friends from London to Liège, Hong Kong to Singapore, San Francisco to Newport. It was also a milestone year for my grandparents. My grandfather turned 90 in July, so I flew the whole family out to my new home in Chicago to celebrate. I picked up cooking since moving back from Singapore earlier this year, and I made his birthday dinner myself, a 4-course meal, the first time I'd ever cooked for my family. My mother was genuinely shocked the kitchen survived, mostly intact. Then in December, we gathered in Naples, Florida for my grandmother's 91st. We spent an afternoon on a catamaran, and at one point, my grandmother took the wheel and steered, her first time on a sailboat. Watching the sun set over the water with everyone together really made the whole trip. Now, coming home from Salzburg, I kept thinking about a piece I hadn't touched in years. I was 14 years old, spending the summer at my childhood home in Beijing, when my piano teacher called. New York Orchestra wanted me as their soloist for Mozart's Piano Concerto No. 23 in the fall. I said yes immediately, then dragged my parents to the music store the very next day to see what I had actually agreed to. I sat at the piano for 6 hours straight that day. It became one of my favorite pieces, one that I would perform with 3 different orchestras over the next few years. The third movement of this concerto is pure Mozart, bright, witty, irrepressibly joyful. The piano solo opens with this buoyant theme, then tosses it to the orchestra in this playful back and forth. There are rapid passages where both hands fly across the keys while needing to stay perfectly coordinated. Ornaments that have to land precisely. Rhythms that dance without ever feeling rushed. The movement is also in rondo form, which means the main melody comes back again and again, but it's never quite the same. Relearning it, I caught all these details I completely missed as a teenager. And since I don't have an orchestra to accompany me this time, I also learned the orchestral parts. The flutes, oboes, bassoons, horns, all the strings, combined into a piano reduction. Seeing how the instruments enter and exit, how the voices layer together, that made coming back to this piece such a joy. To put this together, I recorded the solo piano part and the orchestral parts separately, then layered them together. You'll see that this took all day. The solo piano part in the morning, the orchestral part around sunset, and now it's about 9 p.m. Certainly not how Mozart imagined it, though since he was always on the cutting edge, I think he'd find it rather amusing. It's been a rewarding year of homecomings, returning to old pieces and places, seeing them from new angles, noticing what I'd missed before. That was what made 2025 special. A very happy new year to you all.